Hello everybody, it is RidlyGT here with another Let's Cast. This is our low MMR game of the day. I just took a massive sip of ginger ale and, yeah, apparently forgot to swallow all of it. But that is quite alright. So take a look at these teams right here. Of course, the scoreboard is inverted. So our blue team is going to be Uther being played by Petrus, Diablo on Muffin Man, Jaina being played by Squirtle, Murden on Ragnar, and Sylvanas by Dislocate. And our red team, ETC being played by Gwath, Tychus by a bunch of letters and numbers for some unknown reason. Zero limits. Fantastic. Brightwing being played by Buff Me Up, Vala is being played by Brotharadon, and Malfurion on Tartaros, which I will try my best to pronounce as many times as I possibly can. As the lanes are shaping up, we've got Sylvanas and Murden going up top here against Artychus and Brightwing. We've got ETC going against what looks like Jaina and Uther mid, even though Jaina's playing a bit passively back there. And down bottom, we've got Muffin Man on Diablo going against not Nature's Prophet. That is entirely the wrong game. Against Malfurion and Vala. Wow. Oh, Dota's coming back to haunt me, guys. It's not a good scene by any means. It's okay. I'm allowed one of those a game, I think. I think I'm allowed one of those a game, but that's okay. I will do my best not to mention that again. Bit of action going up on top here. Just harass going back and forth. Frag Grenade doing a bit of damage. Murder sitting at about half right now. Mid, not a whole lot's going on either. Just standard laning so far. And this is the low MMR game. Looks like the overpower into the Shadow Charge from Diablo is going to do a bit of damage onto Vala, but not a whole lot's going to come from it. Now, normally I get all my replays from Gosu Gamers. I shot them off a tweet and asked them for permission to download and cast any of the games that they have access to. And as long as I give them credit, they have no problem with it. And I said, awesome. Made my day. I have an unlimited amount of tournament replays I can do. And looks like Brightwing's in a tiny bit of trouble up top here. But Brightwing will be perfectly fine. Yeah. I asked if I could use any of the replays. They said sure. So I'm going to be sitting and I'm going to be casting an absolute ton of replays from Gosu Gamers. The guys are awesome. Any of the pro games, or the Enter the Storm, or they have absolutely tons and tons of replays. The biggest problem, however, is they were all uploaded on May 31st, which means that because of the hotfix, none of them work. Not any of them. I don't have access to any of them right now because absolutely none of them work. Looks like there's a bit of a fight going down at the bottom golem since it is nighttime now. Malfurion and Vala just doing a bit of a harass. Diablo's still very, very low. Here comes a stun out from Uther. That judgment going on to Brothadarm. And it looks like Jaina is going to clean that up very, very quickly and very easily. Looks like a bit of trouble top. And yes, Sylvanas will end up going down. That polymorph coming out of the Brightwing, just doing an absolute monstrous amount of work, completely shutting her down. Looks like there's this very weird back and forth going on between Petrus, Muffin Man, and Tarts down here, trying to cheese each other a tiny bit, though it's scared of the tower coming up from the blue team, but Tart is going to back up a tiny bit. Malf, of course, known for his 1v2 abilities in pretty much any game that nobody has ever played of Heroes of the Storm. And it looks like Tart's in a lot of trouble there. Jaina coming over and will end up picking up the kill on Malfurion. Looks like Vala jumping into 4 heroes, but Uther does end up picking up an Uther kill. Not really the best trade, unfortunately, but that's okay. We have our red teams picked up the top golem, and blue is going to secure the bottom golem very, very easily. Now, this is going to split the seeds up, so we're not going to see a terror this first night, which is not unreasonable. It's a very normal thing to happen. There are 180 seeds that spawn, and they just decided to split them about 94-86 in slight favor of the blue team. Of course, levels very, very even right now. Sylvanas picking up siege camps for the blue team. Looks like the red team's going to pick up another siege camp for themselves here. It's reasonable to get a siege camp this early, or this late rather. A lot of teams will end up picking them just before the first night, put a bit of extra pressure on and allow them to actually put, force teams out of the forest for the first night time, because I know how to speak and carry a conversation about Gwarth. Our ETC's in a lot of trouble and actually gets blocked by the Brightwing that ports in. Whoa, that was a really unfortunate play there. Brightwing just not entirely aware of the situation. Looks like Vala's in a lot of trouble there. Broth is going to end up going down. It looks like Jaina with that Blizzard still putting damage out. Tarth is not going to go down. Just didn't have that the extra Frostbolt there just to finish off that last remaining bit of health. Down bottom of the siege, doing a lot of work. There goes the Overpower and the Shadow Charge of Tychus. Tychus in a lot of trouble. Whatever his name was with all the letters and numbers has disconnected, unfortunately. So it is the bot Tychus. We'll see how that goes. Squirtle still putting a bit of pressure mid onto Brightwing and ETC. Looks like our Malfurion in a bit of trouble here, being ganked by Uther, who decides that, no, you know what? Not the best idea. Malf is probably having a pretty bad day, but Muffin Man is getting rooted, is going to get a bit of harass going up with a heal. Holy Light from Uther. Not going to let that red team take that kill. Not at all. Muffin Man will get away in this circumstance. Looks like Uther's in a lot of trouble here, being ganked up by the 3 people. The stun on Tychus, that Judgment's going to do it, but the root on Muffin Man. Diablo's in a lot of trouble, but Jaina coming to the rescue again with a Blizzard. The massive burst damage between that and Kona Cold is going to let them escape there. But they're still going. They're still going in and out. There goes the overpower and the shadow charge, and Tychus goes down bottom. An absolutely beautiful kill from all of these fairly new players to the game. Sylvanas picking up the bruiser camp there. That's going to help push this bottom lane out very, very quickly here, which will be very nice for them. Looks like ETC and Muradin are just sitting, dancing around a bit up top. Nothing overly substantial is happening. Nobody has died. Red team gates, towers rather, are running out of ammo, but to be expected, about 5.5 minutes into the game. Blue team fixing their soak now have heroes in every single lane, and they are thoroughly enjoying their about a level advantage, give or take, right now. Red team grouping up down bottom, though. Gonna see how, see if they're gonna try to get something going here. They need to be able to do at least a little bit of something. They've been very passive so far most of this game. They are down about 4 kills. But the stun coming out on ETC down mid. Nice attempted gank with a power slide and the face melt combo, of course. But Uther is just going to casually walk away. Now, Sylvanas is just being an absolute monster right now. Just going around taking the very aggressive siege camp down here. While Muffin Man still getting harassed by our Malf, Vala, and Tychus down bottom. Looks like there's a bit of a fight coming out. Gwath in a bit of trouble here. But the sheep, the polymorph coming out of Brightwing is just... it saves his life. But the power slide going back in with a bit of engagement comes a judgment out from Uther. And it looks like ETC will end up getting out. Gwath just squeaking by out of there. And Muffin Man has healed back up now. We got Tychus and our Tart going in, but there goes Broth. Broth taking the easy camp right here will be met with a bit of resistance from Diablo. There's the overpower, the shadow charge going in, and the root coming out from Malfurion. Frag grenade, and the lightning breath going out. Vala's in trouble. Vala goes down. Can Muffin Man get out? Yes, he can, because he can casually walk away. Absolutely fantastic. Great play. Is being pursued by Tart right now. Those moonfires, starfires, moonfires, beam from the skies are coming out, but it looks like Diablo is going to be perfectly fine. What a fantastic engagement for the 1v3 there. That went substantially better than it should have. And Squirtle picking up the kill for the Malf that has overextended an outrageous amount. Taking a look at what's being picked up here, our blue team has cleared up the top golem and do have ults. About a level and a half up right now. So this should be a very, very interesting encounter of how they choose to deal with it. Blue team should be grouping up, at least we would expect them to be sitting and grouping up now, up behind their terror, and be able to start pushing some kind of lane. Do have Sylvanas going up top here. The stun on a Brightwing from the golem. Stuff's very, very difficult, especially that PvE element of this game. Sylvanas is sitting up top right now. It looks like blue is starting to converge down on the red team. Red team's in a lot of trouble. The root and the follow-up stun right there onto the Brightwing. And here comes Squirtle, our Jaina. Jaina hitting everyone with a blizzard. Waiting for that Kona Cold. There goes a Frostbolt. ETC goes down. Poor Gwath is done. But Tychus didn't have a chance from the start. And this Water Elemental helping Jaina do an absolutely massive amount of work. Sylvanas doing a fantastic amount of split pushing right now. Looks like the Garden Terror is being taken back up top by our Muffin Man. Doing the run-by strategy. It's one of my personal favorites on Garden Terror, where you run as soon as you have any type of contestation. You just run to another lane. You just kind of go and drop plants constantly. Not very effective, but a ton of fun, and hands down my favorite thing to do. Blue team also has picked up 110 seeds here, so they are going to get a second terror as soon as this one does die out, which should be in the next 15 seconds or so. But bottom, going down Broth, doing a fair amount of work on this Garden Terror. It looks like he's going to try to stay for the gate. Can he get it down? I mean, he's in outstandingly deep trouble as soon as he gets this. I mean, this is Vala sitting in here, so Vala's just going to get eaten alive. Yep, there comes the stun from Uther the Judgment. That's going to end it up. It looks like not Malfurion. Looks like Muffin Man on Diablo is also in a fair amount of trouble, dying with his terror in the middle of all 4 heroes there. Not much of an escape whatsoever. Oh, Zero Limits has returned, thankfully. That bot Tychus guy. You know, every once in a while, you kind of need someone to fill in for your team. Yeah, bot Tychus, not the guy. It's not a good choice, guys. Don't let it happen. Remember to play Heroes of the Storm responsibly. Make sure that you have a stable internet connection. Actually, a friend of mine doesn't have one at all, so every once in a while they'll drop out, and it's just the rage-inducing that we get to hear over voice chat's always one of my favorite things of playing this game. Taking a look at our ultimates now, because we haven't yet. Uther is picking up invulnerability. Diablo, of course, with Lightning Breath, Water Elemental from Jaina. Avatar on Murden, not a big surprise. And, of course, Wailing Arrow from Sylvanas, because Possession is arguably the worst ultimate in the game. Sorry, heroic ability. ETC picking up Mosh Pit. We've got Odin on Tychus, which is always my personal favorite. Looks like there's a bit of a fight here. We'll go back to that afterwards. Looks like there comes the Blizzard coming down from Jaina. Looks like, oh, Tort did get the Tranquility off, and he will end up going down. Odin being popped by Zero Limits. And the Mosh Pit. The Mosh Pit is huge. It is doing a ton of work. Invulnerability coming out from Uther. It looks like Jaina is still okay. Tychus ends up getting bursted down by Uther. Here comes the Sylvanas being focused on Brightwing. Brightwing goes down, and so does the ETC. Gwatz with the amazing Mosh Pit, picking up 3 heroes there. Doesn't end up, there's no conversion. That's it. They had it. The Tychus ult popped. The ETC Mosh Pit on everyone. It was perfect. That was a great engagement by the red team. There just wasn't the conversion to be able to get going. And one of the big factors, I do believe, was this Garden Terror. Blue team pushing down mid right now, has the siege creeps as well. And as they push down this, as Vala is having tea in the bush, blue team still goes in pushing in a bit. Sylvanas, absolutely fantastic for the pushes. Whenever you have the extra people, it just saves you a ton of health and whatever else, even though everyone likes to be a tiny bit cheeky, especially when 2 or 3 of them are down. But that loses games. Trust me, I lost 8 games in a row today. It's horrible. It's horrible. Off my cool whip. Zero Limits goes down on Tychus getting picked up. Tart in a lot of trouble there. Sylvanas Haunting Wave, and it looks like Withering Fire is going to take him down without a whole lot of issues. Now, Ragnar going ham on the core as Muradin, all by himself. Seemingly a horrible idea. They have given that up. Muffin Man popping out of the Garden Terror right there, and they will retreat a tiny bit. And they're going to split up now. I would imagine grab things because it's nighttime. Need those seeds. Back to the ultimates. Blink Heal being picked up by Brightwing. We do have a Strafe on Vala, and of course Tranquility on Malfurion, because thankfully he's not awful. I don't even know what the other ability he picks up is. It sounds like it could be good. You know, the AoE, like it's like a quasi-disable. It seems really good. It's not Tranquility. That's the biggest problem. But that's okay. Brightwing doing okay. Hanging out. Red team splitting up. Blue team all together as 5. Much smarter option. Not sure what Tychus is doing. I understand he's pushing the lane back out a bit for no reason other than they already have their base top. And they lost their base mid. This I can understand. This I don't. But blue team has been grouping up. Already have another Garden Terror coming up here. Picked up 2 last night. Picking up 1 more this night. And they're on track to come and pick up yet another second Terror. Vala with a Strafe Judgment coming out from Uther. It looks like there's the Lightning Breath coming out of Diablo. Can he hold it? ETC with a Mosh Pit, but Diablo is unstoppable. Diablo ends up going down. Red team in very good shape. That looks like the Uther. He's going down. There is no hope for that. Red team very high up here. All high up in terms of health. Very high on health. The Tranquility doing an absolutely massive amount of work. Looks like Muradin's looking for a bit of engagement here. Sylvanas is going to end up going down to that power slide. Not much can really be done. Jaina throwing out the Blizzard. Oh, he gets the Tychus. Tychus ends up going down. Jaina throwing as much as she can. She's doing everything. Cast those Frost Bolts, Jaina. Cast them. Muradin ends up going down. Jaina throwing another Cone of Cold. Single-handedly doing a massive amount of damage to the red team. But it just isn't enough. They just didn't have it. This is the unfortunate part. Diablo, great ult, went straight through the Mosh Pit from ETC, which is absolutely fantastic to see. Squirtle is, however, picking this up, but it just wasn't enough. Diablo and Uther go down early in the team fight, leaves them fighting 3v5, and to Jaina's best efforts, it didn't end up working out. But Jaina, of course, taking a look at this, 34,000 hero damage. She's doubling the next closest hero on her team, and she's still almost about 80% over Tychus, which is the best that our red team has to offer. But that's okay. Siege Creeps being picked up. Muffin Man again going down all by himself because he fears no one. He is the Muffin Man. I'm sure there's a song in here that I should be mentioning. No idea what it is. Can't remember. Do you know? Yeah, that's enough of that. But I remember. That's all that matters. Red team trying to defend this this golem. The Squirtle's throwing out. Squirtle throwing the plant nice and deep, picking up all the towers here. Is going for the drive-by. He's going to go run around. Now, usually you drop that Q, drop that polymorph AoE down in the bushes or, in the very thin path. We have terror and terror violence, everybody. Strafe coming out from Vala. There goes the vulnerability out of Sylvanas to stun on a Brightwing. Brightwing's in a lot of trouble. Buff me up. No! Run, buff me up. And the Shadow Charge is enough. There's the Overpower. Can Buff Me Up still live? There's the Blink Heals, and Brightwing ends up going down. Sorry, Buff Me Up, but Ragnar sitting up here in his avatar form. Still going away, beating on ETC, trying to zone the Terra at least a little bit. Terra's chasing Jaina down the lane. Vala goes down in the red team's base. And once again, there's the Root coming out, and Sylvanas goes down to Tart. Tart, the MVP DPS and control Malfurion, is absolutely fantastic. There goes the Tranquility. None of these guys are going to die. They're all fine. Gwath and Tart know what they're doing. Jaina is still being chased, but zero limits on the Garden Terror doing okay. And the Mosh Pit! The Mosh Pit from Gwath! Murden goes down. Diablo's in a lot of trouble. Uther's in trouble. The Root from Malfurion, and they all go down. The red team with a fantastic turn on those kills. How is that even a thing? Jaina still taken down to the Garden Terror by zero limits. It's getting very low. He's still got about 25 seconds left on it, so he's doing okay. Tychus is going to pop out. Jaina's going to focus this down, but Jaina's in a fair amount of trouble. There's the Frag Grenade and the EDC Power Slide. Jaina going down. That's it. And a fantastic turn from the red team. I mean, we've got Sylvanas up for blue at just about now. I mean, Vala shouldn't be here. Vala, get with your team. Your team needs you. Odin being popped by Tychus for that extra DPS siege damage. I don't know if I necessarily agree with the ult being popped here, but they do have a fair amount of time. Still have about 5 seconds on Murden. They're just trying to put as much damage on here as they possibly can. Red base, however, still in a bit of trouble. Looks like the top keep is going to go down. Bottom still fairly healthy. Gate's still up, but they're pushing this in a tiny bit. They just need to not get caught. Here comes Avatar from Ragnar. The Murden. He's throwing it out. Double stun. The Strafe coming up from Broth. And Brightwing in trouble again. Buff me up. Lightning Breath from Diablo. Brightwing goes down. Tychus in a lot of trouble from that stun. There comes the Wailing Arrow out of Sylvanas. And the Shrink Ray on Vala. Is it going to be enough? It is not. And they are just going to be able to escape there. Oh, that Uther going way out front of everyone else. Even with a Murden and Diablo, Uther's on the front line. That can be a way that you play Uther, and even though it's not right, it's exciting as hell. That's all that really matters. Picking up camps here for the blue team. Red's pretty much back in it. They've caught back up. Now, blue's going to have their Storm Talents. They're level 20s. They're going to have them a bit before red is. If they choose to pick up an engagement about then, have the extra, the half-level advantage, that extra talent that makes so much of a difference, then blue is going to take this game. All it's going to take is one team fight, and it is nighttime. Muffin Man still going for the siege camps up top. Vala throwing a bit of harass. There goes the Shadow Charge, and waiting for an overpower. The Strafe from Broth doing a fair amount of damage on a Diablo. Diablo retreating a tiny bit, but there goes the Hungering area. Brightwing's coming in, and there's a Lightning Breath. Diablo's going to go down. Diablo's going to go down. Val and Brightwing taking down Diablo. Whole team's down the bottom Garden Terror, and Diablo sitting in a siege camp top by himself, like what you would assume a boss like Muffin Man would be like. That didn't end up happening for some reason, but that's okay. Blue team still picking up the Garden Terror right now. Both have picked up their Storm Talents. That kill was absolutely massive. Massive for the red team. Gave them that little bit of an XP boost that they needed to be able to level it up for a full team fight. Looks like it might be happening right about now. And all the hearths coming out from the red team. We've lost one. ETC is gone. Malfurion's going down. Tart's been picked off. The blue team rotating in. Looks like Brightwing's in a lot of trouble as well. Brightwing. Teleport Brightwing. Brightwing's out. It's okay. Brightwing teleported out, guys. We're good. We will not see a team fight. Still have 50 seconds on Malfurion right now. He still has a while to get up here. We have both Terrors ready to be spawned right now. Let's say he's taking control of both of them. Muffin Man, my man, is taking up the blue one. And it looks like Buff Me Up, the Brightwing, is picking up the red team's Garden Terror. So now it is level 20 versus level 20, everybody. We have two Garden Terrors. We have two bases. Middle is gone in both. Looks like there's going to be a team fight coming out mid. Gwath taking a bit of damage right now, sitting about half health right now, comes the strafe out of Val, and there comes the mosh pit. The mosh pit is huge. Buff me up, doing a ton of damage to Uther. Looks like Uther's in a lot of trouble. Uther ends up going down, so Vaughn is getting picked up from the back. There comes the Odin, Jaina. Jaina ends up dropping for the blue team, and it looks like Murden is done. Murden goes down. That's a 4-for-1 trade from the red team. Looks like the Garden Terror, Muffin Man pushing down bottom. Red team elected to fight with their Terror mid, like they should. But no, Muffin Man doing his own thing like the only Muffin Man can. And that's okay. But unfortunately, it looks like that might have single-handedly killed his entire team. Oh, I hit spacebar with my hand by accident. I apologize profusely. Looks like Uther's going down. This game's in the bag. It's over. Congratulations to the red team. Buff me up. Fantastic. Well played. My name is RidlyGT. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe to our channel and send your replays. Please, drunkenrhinoyt@gmail.com. Thank you very much. Have yourselves an excellent day.